Welcome, my friends, to the LifeCoach podcast with your host Teodor here. You're here for your weekly dose of inspiration for a unique show that will help you accelerate the execution of your personal and professional goals in the game of life. How? By introducing you to the life-changing stories and ideas of highly driven millennials in their quest for happiness, fulfillment, and success. Mic on, attention set. Let's go. Welcome, guys, to the LifeCoach podcast with Theodore. Today we have a special guest. His name is Adrian Virlan. He's going to come in a few minutes. But what I'm going to tell about you now is that this is our first podcast of the show. And we are doing some tests here, of course. We have some nice food to welcome our guests. And I'm super excited to announce you that this podcast is going to be about helping you reach the best version of yourself. That's getting from point A you are right now to point B using the techniques we're going to show you here and the stories of our guests that's going to let you an example and inspire you to become that best version of yourself. So with further ado, I'm going to welcome my friend Adrian. Welcome, my man. Nice to meet you.
Walking.
So good, man. So good to
be here. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. First podcast. We've been waiting like a few time for this.
Yeah, I know. It's finally happening. So I'm happy to be here, man.
I'm super happy.
And this is looking really good.
It's looking really good. It's getting a bit colder. Maybe we can have some grab later on, but no worries. So what we're going to be talking today is going to be an intro of Adrian, as I like to call him. He's my best friend. We've been knowing each other for like at least 10 years. 10 years? Is it 10 years?
Even more,
I think. Yeah. And what I want to tell you about is that he's, for me, an inspirational figure, a model of discipline, and that's one of the things we're going to also touch today. Discipline, mental toughness, hard work, and how do you reach your goals, becoming the best version of yourself. And I think a really good story to tell in this first podcast is Adrian's story. So my man.
Wow. What an intro. That's one hell of a first podcast, man. I mean, we barely even started, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited, and I feel like my heart rate,
is it
pumping?
Is it?
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good thing.
I think
it's always a good thing to be excited, equally excited every time you do something, no matter for how long.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter how much practice you have with anything.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy, and I'm really happy that I'm always excited about the same things.
Yeah, man.
In the same way. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And, well, in terms of, my story, it's kind of a broad thing to cover. It's a pretty wide range thing. But I will try and nail it down to really small moments, perhaps.
Okay.
Like the key moments of my life that led me to what I am now. So
maybe a good picture to have is like for our guests and our listeners is to have like which has been your journey for the last 5 years and which is going to be your point to achieve, your point B in this case to achieve in the next 5 years.
5-year steps.
Yeah.
Cool. So 5 years ago, we're now 2018. So 5 years ago was 2013, and it was summer. We were working out in the park. And I was not really focused on what I do right now.
Yeah.
But I knew about it. I mean, I'm a concept artist for those who are listening.
Correct. Tell about it.
I'm a concept artist. I would like to call myself a professional because I'm working already.
Yeah. Right.
So, and well, you know what they say, when you no longer want to do something, but you still do it, then you can call yourself a professional. Now, this doesn't mean I don't want to do what I'm doing, but sometimes you don't really feel like doing something. And that's what discipline is about as well, I think.
Oh, man.
The ability to get something done, even in the worst moments when you don't want to do it. So 5 years ago, 2013, I was not really focused on this, and I was enjoying life with you guys. I was with my friends, hanging around, going to the beach, mountain, having a lot of fun, definitely, and really focused on my body, like the physique way of thinking about it. So we were really into working out and all that. And then as kids started school again in fall, and winter kicks in, and I'm like really thinking about my own brand. Like, oh man, I need to have like a brand, a
That's
personal
so true.
brand.
I remember those moments.
Yeah, you were there.
Oh man, that was
And
incredible.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
what can I come up with that represents myself?
Yeah.
And by that time, I was touching some sort of subjects, not really related necessarily to the physical realm we know, but also kind of spiritual fantasy themes. I don't know. So I was thinking of triangles, for instance, like if you break it down to the basic shapes and symbolism of it. I came up with this logo I used to have back in the days, and I was using it as my own image. I put my name on it, and then I needed to come up with some sort of brand name. So I said, what do? I do art.
I remember those moments when you were sending each other examples of what you were thinking about your personal brand with
like
Ava
sketches and stuff
sketches.
Like that.
Oh man, I have the perfect image picture of it. It was a sketch written in red pen with the first Ava sketch. Like for those who don't know,
that's why I like to keep always all the sketches, because you can always track what's the origin of this idea.
Cool,
so
I remember because I was in Germany and we were like talking to each other. I was doing my Erasmus year back then.
Right.
I was in the library.
Oh, damn.
I was in the library. Oh, come on, man. You got this. You got this. You have to build your own brand. You have to do the symbolism with the triangle, with the image and everything.
I remember. I didn't even remember you were in Germany at the same time, because I was looking at some videos and pictures we recorded when we went for you at Germany. And
Pop tag, for those who don't know, the first images of the Ava, Adrian Virlan visual arts.
Yeah.
Pop. Okay. And
so the thing is that when I was starting with this, I didn't even mention anything on my background. So let's say I've always liked to draw. I've always liked to paint. I've always liked to explore different creative ways to make up stuff, right? Stuff I enjoyed. And I didn't really care about what anybody else thought about what I was doing. But, world shapes you in a way that, when I grew up, I started to care more about what people think about my stuff. So I was sharing less about the stuff I did. So I was more worried about what they think about me. Like I was really seeing myself as a professional. Like I'm so good at drawing, because that's what everybody was telling me. My family, my friends, everybody. I never met any professionals. So as a kid, they were always, hanging my paintings on the fridge and stuff like that. Like, oh, you're so good, you're so talented. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm talented, right? So I grew up and I thought I was talented. And that's when I met like other people way better than me. And I said, I'm not talented anymore, or what? Why are they better? And that's when you realize there's no such thing as a magic thing you have. It's just a matter of practice, effort. You put in hours and hours and hours, which is something that as a kid you don't really care about, because you just enjoy it. You just enjoy the path. Yeah. And that's something really, really important to keep in mind. And what was I saying?
The incredible thing about you, sorry for interrupting, is that you realized your life goal, professional life goal in these terms from quite an early age. I mean, you did have the talent, but you also realize that, hey, I want to make something out of this. I have.
Everybody was asking me, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a painter.
Yeah, man.
That's everything I knew.
Yeah.
But I didn't know
so incredible.
But I didn't know what a painter means.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that job means. I actually saw myself like, I don't know, making beautiful images that would end up hanged on the wall of a museum or next to the beach. I have no idea. So when I was approaching this year, 5 years ago, from 2012 to 2013, I discovered accidentally that there is a professional field for what I do and for what I've been doing unconsciously so far. Because it's all about design. It's all about creating the things that is going to end up in that have potential to end up in a bigger IP, somewhere like that. So I realized there's this thing called concept art. By that time, I only knew that if I Google concept art, very beautiful images will start to pop up. So by that time, I stumbled across a video on YouTube because I was a YouTube nerd. I used to look and watch a lot of documentaries, curious videos about technology, science, stuff like that. And of course, about weird stuff like kittens, parkour guys jumping around from, very high. So what I did was I watched every single video I was finding on YouTube related to, speed painting, digital painting, concept art. Yeah. But when I saw concept art, I was like, so this is a thing I can get paid for. So what does it take to...
Whoa.
Yeah, that's where...
the revelation.
That's
was
where my path started to narrow down,
Yeah.
That's where I knew what I had to do. So I started to practice on my own at home. I was like pretending in my head that I was already working for a big franchise or something. And
That's so amazing.
That there were some art directors telling me what to do. So this is how I started producing images, posting them online, getting those contacts, new contacts, Facebook, not Instagram. That's something that came later. But that's definitely something I did, which was spreading my net of contacts.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my first job. 1 year later, I think. Yeah.
1 year later. Oh, yeah. It was 2014.
14.
Yeah.
2014 was the year in which I took this really seriously at home.
Yeah.
And 1 year later, they told me,
true. Yeah,
hey, Adrian, we saw your work online. Are you working? No, I'm not working.
Oh my God, that's so true. I remember it.
You remember, right?
Yeah, man. So it was 2013, the summer. We were working out, as you were saying.
2013 was like a break for me.
It was like a break.
Yeah, because I was coming from a long relationship with a girl. I had some trouble with it.
Yeah.
And I stopped working as well as a waiter on non-related business. It was a restaurant. Yeah, familiar restaurant. So it was like a big break in my life. Like I left all that behind, and it's like being born again.
Being born again, man. And you need that break, like for.
I needed it. Yeah, indeed. So when I started there, I took the break with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Hanging around, enjoying every single moment of that year, and 2014 was like the professional fire starter year for me.
Right. It was a sparkle year.
Exactly.
When you're starting to post online.
Yeah. My personal brand, development, skill sets, and all that. So then, and when I got my first job, that's 2015.
That's 2015, that's right. Man.
So I got my first job. It's a small studio. They have a pretty ambitious project, and it's a small team. But it's my first job, Yeah. Hey, look at me now. I'm getting paid for this.
That's
because,
so
there are people that are not really believing in you, and they're like telling you to get a real job and stuff like that. And I'm only at home. I'm just honing my skills.
How tough was for you to deal with the excitement you have that you're actually, for the first time, you're getting paid for what you love doing, and at the same time getting a bit criticized for the thing that you're aspiring to be?
how tough it was for me. Well, what was
to
not
deal
tough,
with, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It was not tough. I mean, it was not tough because I was not really paying attention to that. I was not focusing my full energy into, oh, you haters,
Yeah.
you're gonna remember me.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I saw nothing else than that. I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to go back to a restaurant.
Yeah, that's what
I don't want to end up in I don't know. I don't want that kind of job. I don't like it. And I have these skills, and I want to be better at these skills because I feel better by being better at these skills. And I see that by doing this, I inspire people. And this is a true story. I wasn't even working. So this is 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And people were reaching me, telling me, dude, thanks so much. Yeah, like, oh, what have I done? Well, you're welcome anyway, but what's going on? And they're like, no, you just inspire me a lot. Your paintings, your stuff, it's amazing. And I was, it got even a little bit overwhelming at some point. So what I did was, how I dealt with these kind of situations, you mean. When I got the job, I still, you still got those kind of comments like, what you do is actually easy. Like, you just do drawings and
just draw,
get paid. What kind of job is that? That's not a job. That's not a job. And I'm like, at first I was like getting a little bit mad about it because like, you've been telling me so far that I can't do this. Now that I can do it, I'm showing you I'm working on getting paid for this. You still complaining, So that's when I understood there are some people that no matter what you do, they're always going to find out some kind of excuse, some kind of negative comment to throw at you.
Haters gonna hate, man.
Yeah, man. No, I actually felt a little bit sorry because I was not prepared enough to explain them why they are wrong. I didn't have the words. I didn't have the arguments, to turn that around. So I just said, yeah, I know. Yeah, right. It's funny, right? I'm getting paid for some drawings, right? Yeah. Well, I'm just going to get back to it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
See you in 5 years.
Exactly. So that's how I dealt with it. I just let time pass and I just didn't focus on them. And yeah, it's a pretty basic advice that everybody gives, I think.
Yeah,
like, definitely. How do you deal with haters? Well, they're not haters, really, but there are people that
people have their own life perspective and they're trying to apply to you.
Yeah, they're coming from another background, perhaps. They don't have the same vision you have. And you got to understand that.
Yeah.
You got to be aware of it. So I was trying to be aware of it. Yeah. And I think that helped me a lot on realizing that, look, Adrian, calm down. They don't understand. That's all.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, gladly, my mom has always been there.
That's so true. I remember that.
No matter what, she was always there supporting me, like, hey, get up, get back on your feet, kid. You got to keep going, I'm like, oh, Mom, I don't think so. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
and that was a really important.
Was it? Like,
of course.
So let's get back to the timeline a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. This is 2015. I got my first job. All right.
It was spring 2015, I guess.
I got my first job. I start traveling a lot of conferences because you go with the team here and there.
Traveling so much.
Everything's so cool. It's such a new environment. I work at an office that's pretty close to my house, to where I live. So I don't even have to worry about transport. I can go walking. It was like 15 minutes walk or something like that. So then you get to travel a lot because it's an indie game. So you need to promote it with the team and
to gain confidence,
invest the few money you have into it. And it was really cool because I don't know. I think whenever we got out there, to those kind of events, I was trying to enjoy every single bit of it. Every single bit of the travel, like train ride, I love it. Taxi ride, I love it. Plane, I love it. Airport, I'm tired, I love it.
I love it.
Because it's something I I don't
It
know.
was something new.
It was something
definitely.
new.
And comprehended within an experience that you're so long waiting for, like professional experience and getting to do what you love. That's
Exactly.
one of the things that immediately when you start being in that mental space and mindset, everything becomes way brighter.
Exactly. It's a matter of not vision, but like the matter of perspective.
It's a matter of
the way
perspective.
you look at
Definitely.
things. And I claim to be very optimistic, extremely optimistic.
I remember
maybe
stories,
maybe to the point that annoy people.
I remember the stories with some of the team. You're like the one that was pushing and being optimistic, and I mean there's the characters that are within the organization and even a small firm. You have to accept that. You have to empower that somehow.
Yeah, and I thought about it. I thought that, am I faking this?
Yeah.
No, it's just the way I am. I can't be otherwise. Yeah. I mean, because I see no point on being negative in any situation.
It's a bad strategy.
I understand if you get mad in certain situations, that's normal. We are all humans, but come on, in the end, that's nothing to profit on.
Correct.
So I chose the light side.
The light side. Yeah. Even they have cookies and
exactly.
So fast forward. This in startup company.
Fast forward to 2017.
Yeah.
We moved to another city because we got chosen by PlayStation, Sony to be in a program for indie development teams to get their projects out there with Sony.
Yeah.
And that was a big opportunity, so we didn't let it escape.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty revealing moment, because I got to live with the team in the same house. And that's where all our differences came together. And I said, I'm quitting this. And I couldn't take it no more. So fortunately, in the latest, the last weeks, months, we got to have more people in the team.
Yeah.
People with who I really enjoyed being around,
Yeah.
So
that's amazing, like how the universe is giving you tips.
Like, I've been here with these guys, and now these other guys come in, and I'm like, these are the ones I want to be with.
Exactly, man. That's
so amazing. Obviously they didn't like what they saw, so they left as well with me. We all left. So
they were a group in a startup, and some other people came in. And from what I remember, and as I was talking with Adrian about it, there were like, of course, personality and perspective and mindset differences, not only from the way of approaching life, but the professional project. They were actually
we just couldn't understand each other.
Yeah,
and the communication had a lot of flaws and was not really working. So I said, again, my mom came to give me like a little visit. Like, hey, where do you live? I want to see your house. I want to see where do you live in there in the new city. And I'm like, all right, just come over here. And now that apartment was amazing. So from a nature perspective, it was beautiful because you had it was close to the beach.
Yeah.
There was a small beach, but not really.
In Valencia.
Yeah. So
close.
And then you had this huge kind of a jungle thing, but more like Californian jungle.
Yeah, that's amazing. I remember that you experienced something in that apartment that made you want to live like that as many days as possible. That's seeing the sun get up.
I was going to talk about that. That's the thing.
Yeah, man.
I was waking up every single morning because it was summer, and in summer sun rises earlier.
Yeah. Well, yeah, earlier. Definitely.
Yeah. So, from this side of the world, it always rises from the sea.
From the sea, definitely.
Yeah. But in summer, it rises way earlier than in winter. Mm-hmm. So I was waking up every day at 6 or so, getting ready, having my breakfast. I was trying to, take care of myself.
Yeah.
So I started to run every morning. It was high enough to see the sunset from that balcony. And then I was going for a run every morning. I hate running, but I managed to go like for 2 weeks in a row, every single morning, go running. And then I left, so I had to leave. And by coming home,
connecting that story with the colleagues.
Yeah. Well, nothing else. That switch was over. And so I lost track. I was not running anymore.
Okay.
But what I want to say by this is that we started a new project together with these other guys.
Yes.
So I leave my first job and I come back home, and it's 2017.
2017, man.
That's 1 year ago.
1 year.
And I spent 1 year working on a personal project with a friend who is a narrative designer and a musician. And he has terrific writing skills. He's really, really creative. And he has several options. So I can work on that and hone my skills, every day. We get on a working schedule, like we're working for real.
Yeah.
And
the best thing is that you came home, actually.
I came home, and that felt like...
It definitely does, but then you realize it's a good strategy.
It felt like a defeat, like, oh man, I was making it. I left
making
home.
it.
I left home. I managed to live on my own outside. That feeling, like no parents, no home. It's just business.
Cooking for yourself.
Yeah, you're alone.
Yeah.
So
that.
Everything has the good side, but I really appreciated being again here with you guys, being able to hang, because I was only hanging around with you on weekends,
That's true,
because I was far away from you.
I was doing the same.
You can relate as well, even more.
Yeah.
Because, for those of you who don't know, he's been like for how long? 2 years?
I feel like it was winter of 2015 when I left home, coming from a vacation from Romania. My aspiration was, like, really summing up, because I want to let Adrian finish his story, was working in the automotive industry.
We will get them all together, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So it was fast going through it. It was winter 2015 until summerish, May 2018. I stayed in Barcelona, and I was coming on the weekends here. I was working as a technical marketing officer and PMO for both Nissan and Seat, but we're gonna get to that later. We related that we were finding each other on the weekends. Oh man, this is so cool to live
far away from home.
Yeah,
right. No friends.
Yeah,
and only being able to. I think that makes you value those things even more when you get just a little bit of them at a certain day of the week or of the month in your case, because you were spending like way longer without seeing your parents, your friends than me.
I was gonna get with this one because
I'm gonna have some too, all right?
You should have someone too, man.
So I was coming here and seeing my friends every weekend and my family. So you were coming here only, I don't know, every month, once a month.
Once a month, perhaps twice a month. Because I needed it, and all that professional environment. I guess you're the same. You're getting closer because Valencia is like 60 kilometers from Castellón, and Barcelona is like 300. I got to get a train.
It's always expensive. I mean, it's always good to spend some time isolated.
Yeah.
To meet yourself, to know yourself, discover yourself. But then, I don't know, you always need to come back somehow.
Yeah.
You can't stay like that forever. That's what I wanted to make the point on.
Yeah.
So, I'm back, start a new project. I'm working on my skills. I'm working on this project. I'm having a lot of fun. And we're not posting anything online. And 1 month later, half the team drops out again.
Oh my God.
They leave.
Cool.
They say they can't take it longer because they have to study, they have to continue, their degree in video games. And the only ones that are left are me and my friend. So we just kept going, pushing the design. And then we gave ourselves like a timer, Let's give ourselves like 4 months, see what we can do by 4 months, all right?
Which year was this one? It was 2017.
2017, 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Yes, I left my first job and now I'm home working.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a personal project with this guy, I told you. So the thing is that I booked like an event that was on Holland. It's Playgrounds. And today is the first day of the event as well.
Oh,
right now, it's happening. Now, it's happening. Yeah.
So 1 year ago, you were too.
But I'm not there because...
Oh my God, that's so true.
Because I'm working. So, but that will come later. I'll get there. So, I go to this event. I get to know a lot of professionals, more people. By the way, these things are amazing. I mean, if you can invest in something, just go for it. Go to these events, meet those people.
Networking, man.
Network a lot. And show your work, show your stuff, get feedback, improve it, and repeat. That's how you grow. But by the way, anyway, it's like a different vibe because it's like the first time I'm being surrounded by like-minded people, art related, and I'm just enjoying every single moment of it again and again. It's different from when I was traveling with the team around the world, because those were more video game focused events, like more for developers.
And gathering customers, actually.
Yeah, but this is just exclusively for design, what I like to do. So,
and getting tips. From professionals.
And that's how I continued. I went back home. I kept improving my stuff. And then there was a challenge done by a platform called Our Station.
So almost all 2017, you were home, actually.
Yeah. And part of 2018, this year.
Correct.
Yeah. So half of this year, I've been home as well.
Correct.
But I'm still home. That's the cool thing. That
it was half of 2017 and half until now of 2018.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. With 1 year ago.
So that's it. I used every single bit of opportunity I had to grow. That's what I wanted to mean by all this. That I saw concept art as an opportunity. Not only is that, I saw concept art as the thing.
The thing, your thing.
That's the thing. There's nothing else I want to do. That's only the thing I want to do. So,
focus.
Yeah, exactly. So I went for it. New job opportunity. Yeah, sure. I want it. I'm in. Oh, good. Let's work.
That's my mind.
Oh, I'm having so much fun here. Yeah, let's get to travel the world. Oh, cool. Yeah, let's push the game further. Cool. Let's get these guys on now.
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. New guys on the team. Nice. Oh, I actually like them. I like them a lot. Like more than you. So, yeah. You know what? We're gonna leave. We're not having fun here. So,
I have a phrase for you which is really good, and it's one of the phrases and quotes I
go ahead.
And
tell me
about having this open mentality. I always admired in you on the fact and adapting to every circumstance. And the quote goes like this: expect nothing and accept everything.
Oh, that's a cool one and powerful one.
Dude, that's so amazing. When you get in that mentality, it's like, okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Whatever happens.
Yeah, man.
Throw it at me.
It's so powerful because I think it somehow relates to that Chi martial arts physical approach they have towards combat. Like
the warrior.
Use the force of your opponent against him, not forcing yourself. It's like physically.
Yeah, like don't be a wall.
Correct.
Like what Bruce Lee said, right?
Be water.
Adapt. everything.
That's the big
I never thought about that. I never thought about it this way, but
that's it, man.
it definitely makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest war, both with yourself and the ego from other people and your ego, it's on the mind. It's definitely on the mind.
That ego thing is something that, when I saw Jim Carrey talking about these things, I understood. I started to be more interested in it. Like, I obviously.
Just 1 second, I'm gonna put up the light. Yeah, tell me.
No, don't worry. I'll wait for you. This is actually good.
Is it? Yeah.
It's a little bit cold now, but you know what they say about pizza. It's always
cold
good,
pizza.
no matter
it's
what.
Always good. Yeah, man.
So I started to be more interested in it. Like, I obviously knew what the ego was and all that, but never really got deep into it.
Right.
So I started to be self-aware of, like, in certain situations, the way I behave, the way I speak, the way I think in certain situations.
It's having a conscious present.
That's it.
Of the flow of your thoughts.
Yeah.
So you're constantly trying to
analyzing everything. Yeah. Examining, like, everything.
And
everything
I think the next step.
Not always.
Because
there's sometimes it's really hard to do it. But I'm trying to be self-aware all the time. All the time I can, at least. And the thing with the ego and all that stuff is that I was trying to identify it, Where's my ego and when does it show up? And I found it many times. And I was like, oh, so that's what I do. All right. But I didn't do anything about it. I kept doing it, like those crazy reactions and stuff like that. And then I gradually started to do something about it, and I started to control it somehow.
Yeah.
Not to control it, but to understand it. Why do I do that?
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Why did I, I don't know, made that movement? Why did I, scream to that guy?
Yeah.
Why did I reacted that way? So,
I think I have a really small and concise story about that.
I love stories. Stories are what motivates me probably the most.
Me too, man.
Stories of people.
Stories of people, exactly. And it's about one of the greatest philosophers of the 20th century, Carl Jung. And it's so amazing. I mean, I think it was Jordan Peterson, who was talking about it on a conference. And he was saying that related to what you were saying on why you couldn't control your ego or your reaction. I mean,
it's about the shadow thing.
It's related to the shadow, and it's also related to the actual brains we have, both physically and figuratively. So it's the limbic system, which has a reaction and the most kind of animalic
primal
instincts. Primal, and then there's the neocortex, the prefrontal neocortex, which makes us conscious human and gives us sense of freedom, sense of liberty and consciousness. So,
is that the pineal gland or something? That's like very.
The prefrontal cortex is here.
No, but it has something to do with also that.
That's on the spiritual side.
All right.
The pineal gland, which it's also amazing because research and science has discovered that it actually emits gamma rays. It's like a sun inside of us.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing because it has photosensible cells, which are on the inside of the gland, not on the outside.
Yeah, but that's crazy because there's no light down
There's
there.
no light there. It's an emission of light. Well, we're going to get on that point.
Sure. Definitely something I'm really interested in.
We should make a another topic.
We could save that for another podcast.
We should save that for another podcast, definitely. Researching a bit about it and talking about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the story about Jordan Peterson, he was explaining. It's not actually a story. It's a psychological mechanism which we are not that aware of, and it's related to the limbic system, physically, and is related to the shadow, figuratively. The more willpower and control we try to have on ourselves, the more the shadow will show up.
Oh, that's cool.
So the only way, and I kind of gathering the story with what Gary Vaynerchuk is saying as well, is like not judging yourself that much and being a patient and peaceful observer of yourself and learner.
Because it's a matter of education, I guess.
Correct.
It's about you not controlling yourself, but educating yourself.
Correct.
How to be better.
Yeah.
According to your own version of what better means.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
and related to that, it's on why is it sometimes difficult to restrain those instincts we have, like shouting to our parent or even thinking about something about when he says something, or our friends.
You get that crazy feeling like, I would kill him right now.
And it's like, why doesn't he behave like I know he should behave?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's about projecting that's on someone.
Yeah, that's probably where empathy comes in.
Definitely.
Or the lack of it.
Yeah, man.
That's something I've been really, really practicing a lot since more than 5 years ago. Yeah, probably when I was with this girl I mentioned before. Yeah, because I was like trying to understand why everybody thinks the way they think. Why do they do what they do? I was trying to be on their side. And sometimes...
That's why we relate so much, man, because I'm the same thing. Like, why? Cool. Why do people do that? Why do people think that?
So when you understand that, well, you can probably only come up with possibilities, but not really the truth. Because the truth will always be in their heads. You will never know unless you talk to them and they let you know. But in most cases, it's a subjective idea you have about it. So
correct. So there's the objective reality and the subjective reality on how we interpret that reality.
Exactly.
So there are end realities as much as human beings there are, sort of.
Like what this guy said from Impact Theory. That's another YouTube channel.
Show up.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm not.
The light is not working. Sorry.
No, don't worry. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am.
Oh my God, that's mind blowing.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're usually what we think others think of us.
That's true.
Rather than just cutting that thing and just being yourself.
Yeah.
You choose to think that, what's inside his head? He might think that I'm this way, Therefore, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be that way.
Yeah.
And
that's so amazing.
And that's something I've been through as well, especially as a teenager, because I think age is definitely something that's really delicate and really, really special on this subject, because the smaller, the younger you are, the more you tend to feel the need to fit into a certain group of people. Therefore, you will adapt and you will shapeshift, and try to be like them so they can accept you. But what if you don't do that? What if you were just yourself? They will accept you, or they will deny you. They will reject you. That's the same thing with likes, dislikes on social media,
Vanity metrics.
I have 100 likes right now. Oh my God, there's one dislike? why is this like
Focusing on that.
Yeah, and you focus on this little thing that
Yeah.
you make it huge.
Amen.
And I don't know, that's something that I'm still studying, in my subconscious times. Like, I'm not really thinking about it, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm always wondering, why is that happening all the time, And I think I'm always trying to relate my own experience, to what I see in other people.
Yeah.
Like the way they react to things and the way I react to things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is comparing. And comparison is not really No, it's not a good thing.
Keep your thoughts. We're gonna go for a small break right now, and this is actually the topic I wanted to cover next. Apart from finishing a bit your story and starting a bit my story, the next topic I would like to cover it's on the struggles of discipline and how we relate to empathy towards ourselves and empathy towards other people, our social circle. So see you. Yeah, Zeman?
That kind of broke my mind, because empathy towards ourselves?
Yeah, man.
How would that work?
It actually perhaps is not the proper word.
Because empathy, as far as I know, means the ability to put yourself in the place of another person.
Yeah.
Therefore, how are you going to switch places with yourself?
I think that's one of the main struggles many people have, and they don't realize it. Loving themselves.
Well,
that's the full circle somehow. Yeah. It's not perhaps the proper word on empathy, but it's like self-awareness and try not to judge that much yourself and loving and caring yourself, because that will be the only way to start caring and loving other people.
Okay.
You do it for yourself first. So we're going to have a small break right now, and we're going to come back.
Sure. Perfect.
So guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're going to finish up the story from Adrian. And then we're going to continue with some topics we had, and one of my stories as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what was I saying before, by the way?
We were actually talking about the ego.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah. The ego thing is something I'm going to leave for like 10 minutes later. Mm-hmm. But I was telling you the way I came to be where I am today. Yeah. So there was this it was a challenge, actually, by Our Station. Our Station is like the main portal for artists today on the internet. So you can upload your stuff there and be seen by big companies, other professionals, and possibly get hired.
Right.
So they did organized like a challenge. So
which month was this one, by the way?
This is April 2018.
Okay.
This year.
Why?
So I was like, should I do this? And again, my mom, of course you need to do this. You are going to do this.
Let's go.
Yeah, but Mom, look, then there's an event in Barcelona, and I'm not sure about the money. It's actually pretty cheap though, but it's Barcelona, it's downtown. And she's like, how much do you need? I'm paying it for you. And I'm like, since I turned 18, I think, I had this switch in my mind of I'm not going to ask for any money of my parents or anybody around me.
That was at 18.
Yeah, because that's when I got that job as a waiter. So I was getting paid, and that was my first experience of getting paid, having a salary. So
my God, that was 2009. 2010?
10, more like 11, I think.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of reveals my age.
Yeah.
Other stuff.
Stop it.
Yeah. So the thing is that I did the challenge. I used it as a benchmark, actually, to test my skills. Like, how good can I deliver this artwork? Like, how far can I push it? So I saw the level I was at. I was surprised, actually, because, I was, at least in my mind, I was always only sketching, always pushing to a very low level of finished aspect. So for this opportunity, this challenge, they were asking for really good images. So I had to, work my ass off a little bit.
Which was a topic actually?
It was about the Wild West.
Wild West, okay.
Yeah, that was the topic, and I never drew anything related to Wild West. But they said you can mix it up with any other genre you want if you're not pushing it too far away from the main subject.
Right.
So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I started to get like little glimpses of what our project was about into this challenge.
Right.
So I finished it, and then I went to Barcelona. I started to show my work to everybody that was there.
Portfolio.
I met people that I thought I was never going to walk next to.
Wow.
And I got a job. And then I got another job.
That's
and
amazing.
More offers started to pop out. And I put my work online on ArtStation because I didn't mention this, but it was empty for like 7 months.
I understand.
This far, It was empty because I deleted everything I had there because it was old. I thought I was much better by that time, and I deleted everything. So I said, I'm only going to upload my best here.
Right.
That's why it was empty. But I never took the time to, upload
curate a bit. Yeah.
Exactly. So when I came back from Barcelona, I'm like, oh my God, I need to be seen by people. I need to get my work out there. I have a lot of stuff.
Sector.
Exactly. I have a lot of stuff to show.
Right.
It can't be only on my computer. So I started to upload it, and man, that made my day, summer, and probably my whole year, because I started to get those kind of comments and appreciations from people I never expected to get them from.
So you had like almost a 7 months blackout in terms of
yes
your sector, your exposure.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's amazing.
Dude, people working as art directors, people working for 10, 15 years in the industry, telling me, oh shit, Adrian, where have you been?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, where have you been, man? You've been cyber enhancing yourself? You've been living in a cave so far? Where is this guy coming from now? So I was like overwhelmed by that, but in a good way. I was like, oh shit, I'm getting these kind of comments from these guys?
Wow.
Oh my God. So I started to feel integrated. I started to feel validated, which is something I've been thinking about, and not as a good thing, because it's actually a little bit sad now that I look at it, that you have to wait until somebody that you truly appreciate tells you you're good.
But it's also true.
It's
the market.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course. It's technically the good thing, but the moral part of it is that you should actually trust yourself.
Correct.
That's an issue I've been dealing with for a long time.
Correct.
Like self-trusting issues. Like, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm good.
Validation is needed, but it shouldn't be at your center of focus of your work while you do your work.
Yeah, I don't see it as a problem, though. I see it as a virtue,
Right.
Because I believe, or that's what I like to do, I believe that it's the only way to grow, to always expect more from yourself.
Right.
And by that, you don't have a set ceiling for yourself. So you can always have more room to keep climbing.
Compare yourself only to who you are yesterday.
Yeah, that's it. You said it better. So I came back, I got those jobs, and I'm now working on it. I spent my whole summer at home. I barely saw the beach. We have a beach next to us, like, I don't know, 10 minutes by car. And I barely seen it this summer.
Right, that's true.
But I'm fine with it because I've been pushing a lot. I've been improving a lot, and I'm getting the job done. And
I'm seeing so much, man. Like the posts you get, and the images you're uploading. Wow, like super amazed.
I've been showing him some
The actual project
behind the
he's working on,
scenes.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're not really published yet because it's still like under NDA.
That's true.
So and
the actual
they are my best work so far.
Amazing, man, amazing. I mean, it's so true. Like, and how much those 7 months have impacted you in a positive way. And right now that we have finished a bit with your past and what you have been doing till now, which are the projects you are involved right now, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? So, which are the projects, and what do you expect from yourself and from the industry you want to work in?
All right. So right now, the things I'm working on right now are definitely not my final goal. It's not what I want to spend my life doing, but they keep me going, and I take it again as a challenge. They're like an opportunity, and if I can get paid and live a little bit more for a few more months while I keep improving my skills again, I will be able to land that kind of dream job again.
That's correct, man.
Because remember, I landed my
that was the first small
dream.
Step.
Yes. The first job I got felt like my dream job. Once you're in, you realize things. And that's always going to happen this way.
Correct.
So, because you always want to move forward.
Yeah.
You always want something else. You know, in my case, I started with an indie studio. I haven't touched any AAA project yet, but that's one of my goals. I want to work on a big company. I want to live abroad. I want to meet new people. I want to meet high standard professionals to learn from.
Correct.
And what then? What's next?
You have to reach.
Coming home? We repeat the cycle?
Maybe that's the best thing.
Maybe that's a thing, but not as a defeat.
I really see that exactly, not as a defeat. I really see that cycle in you and kind of in myself. On you go in the battle, you go outside, you go to fight the dragons.
It's like the hero journey.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's the hero journey of Peterson. You go to fight the dragons, and you somehow come back with gold, with experience, with knowledge, with new skills, new contacts.
Yeah. And
that's your gold, because it leads you to the next step. It leads you to the next.
And then you repeat.
Endeavor.
What is this? Orange juice?
This is orange juice, yeah. Cool. And that's a Tuika from Romania. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so then you got to be prepared to repeat it again.
Correct.
And be able to spot the sparks.
Yeah.
You know,
can see it in yourself. The call, exactly.
Yeah.
You can see it in yourself that the whole, let's say like that, because I really believe in this, the whole universe kind of like conspired for something bad to happen. But when you look back and you connect the dots, you say, that was the best thing that happened.
Yes. So that's the ability of looking at something negative and seeing it as something positive.
Yeah.
It's like a stone that you can choose to carry it or to step on it to go to the next level.
That's it, man.
You know?
That's it.
So...
and you repeat this cycle.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be in this actual form, like you come back home or whatever. But I really find it nurturing for your skills, for your personality, for your character, for your professional and personal life, that you go outside on a journey, you come back, you develop yourself, you grow yourself from your territory, and then you go again into unexplored territory.
I honestly think that there's no way to learn as much from negative things sorry, I'm getting lost here. I don't think you can learn anything from good things. Not anything, but I don't think you can learn as much from good things as you can learn from negative things.
Correct.
Bad things will happen to you, and those will make you who you are, probably. And then the good things are like prizes, you know, like that like sweet juice you get. Yeah.
I just bought this.
That's something good to have once in a while, But listen, being always, because, having bad things happening to you is something uncomfortable, right?
Of course.
And
Discomfort.
I would rather be comfortable all the time, right? I love it. I love comfort.
Yeah,
oh man, it's so good.
No.
Yeah, but what if you spend
struggling with that
forever comfortable? That gets a little bit annoying because it's like
it's unhappiness.
What's the sense of this?
Yeah.
So that's why I believe it's really important to be able to pay attention to when bad things happen to you. Hunt down your ego, and be self-aware of the way you're reacting to those things and those situations, especially under pressure. And that's what's gonna get you to the next step, which is, next time it happens, you will know how to react or how to behave in that kind of situation.
I really find, again, a really good story for that, on the fact that you mentioned bad things and positive things, and that the fact that we learn more from the bad things and the positive things. The positive things represent somehow the comfort zone, let's say, which you are super thankful for. Your family, everything, your
it's
well-being.
not that you don't value them.
It's not that you don't even value, but you need, God forbid, to happen something bad in your life, but you kind of need for your progress those challenges life demands from you, actually. And I really find a really good story in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. There's a specific chapter.
It's like a sponsored episode.
Yeah, man. I know. I'm a salesman, man. I have to sell.
Yeah, good job.
Now, no kidding. I really find it relatable to the good things and the bad things. The good thing is the order, and the bad thing is the chaos. So that has been always the moral of stories that have been in our culture for centuries, for millennia. Order and chaos, both outside and both as we conceive it and we interpret it in our minds, subjectively and objectively. And there's a specific chapter in page 31 which kind of expresses what we are talking about, order and chaos. It's how we interpret those bad things and positive things.
It's the way we choose to look at things.
Correct. And how we learn from that. And if you let me, Adrian, as well, to have a really small paragraph talking about it.
Go ahead.
So, the domain, not of matter, but what matters. The scientific world of matter can be reduced in some sense to its fundamental constituent elements, molecules, atoms, even quarks. However, the world of experience has primal constituents as well. These are the necessary elements whose interactions define drama and fiction. One of those is chaos, and another one is order. The third, as they are three, is the process that mediates between the two, between chaos and order, which appears identical to what modern people call consciousness.
Boom.
So consciousness, order, and chaos.
Oh.
And check this out. It is our eternal subjugation to the first two, order and chaos, that makes us doubt the validity of existence, that makes us throw up our hands in despair and fail to care for ourselves properly. It is proper understanding of the third, consciousness, that allows us the only real way out. Chaos is the domain of ignorance itself. It's unexplored territory. Chaos is what extends eternally and without limit beyond the boundaries of all states, all ideas, and all disciplines. Is the foreigner, the stranger, the member of another gang, the rustle in the bushes in the nighttime, the monster under the bed, the hidden anger of your mother, and the sickness of your child. Chaos is the despair and horror you feel when you have been profoundly betrayed. Is the place you end up when things fall apart, when your dreams die, your career collapses, or your marriage ends. Is the underworld of fairy tale and myth, where the dragon and the gold it guards eternally coexist. Chaos is where we are when we don't know where we are.
Wow.
And what we are doing when we don't know what we are doing. That's chaos. It is, in short, all those things and situations we neither know nor understand. Chaos is also the formless potential from which the God of Genesis called forth order using language at the beginning of time. It's the same potential from which we made in the image called forth the novel and ever-changing moments of our lives. And chaos is freedom, dreadful freedom too. Order, by contrast, is explored territory. That's gonna be for another podcast.
Holy shit, dude.
That's amazing.
That's one hell of a thing. Have you seen the Batman film?
I haven't.
Well, there's a Joker, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has a line in the film that says, I like chaos because chaos is just, you know?
It kind of makes sense.
It's like it doesn't have any preference. It's like it's chaos. So that paragraph seems like like they are empowering, you know, chaos. And well, personally, I like chaos because I like the adventure side of life.
Correct.
I like to go without plans and see what happens, you know?
Being spontaneous.
Be spontaneous. Yeah. And sometimes, of course, sometimes you like order in certain things. But
the explored territory, the comfort zone.
But most of the time, I truly enjoy not really knowing what's going to happen. It's like exciting.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, I don't know.
Like,
I'd rather be prepared for something I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I agree on the thing that you have to figure out your stuff and have plans and so forth. But most of the time, I truly enjoy that unknown thing. Those bushes, those monsters you don't know about. So
that was quite amazing.
You know why? Because that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Seek discomfort.
Yes, and it's really weird. How could someone like that? Why would somebody like that?
I think
because when you figure out, say for the first time, you know, I'm uncomfortable. I don't like this, but you know, somehow you manage to keep going through that, whatever the hell is for you, and you get out of it. And that's your prize, your you know, the thing your gold. Get, your gold, yes. And once you get there, you know what it means to be in that zone, that dark zone. So you know the benefits of it, and you know what it feels like to be there. So you're not afraid to go there again for whatever other mission you have, you know? And that's what I experienced, for instance.
When in Barcelona?
Yes. No. I was going back to 2015 when I was working on the gym, and I said, I wonder if I can do like daily workouts, you know, sessions. And I said, do you think you can do this, Adrian? Because, you know, it might sound crazy, but sometimes, most of the times, I truly talk to myself and I treat myself like I'm like another guy, like there's another guy inside of me.
Oh my God, that's called, so true.
And
you parent yourself.
Yeah. And I'm like, do you think you can do this? And I'm like, yeah, why not? You know, like that kind of voice, like it's like, not really sure about what he's saying, but you just go out there and try it out. So did I. And I spent 103 days, actually. I always say this because it's like the biggest thing I've ever done.
And he gets renowned for that. Like, you're the challenge guy.
Right,
so you started that.
Then they started calling me like, oh, Adrian, the challenge guy. What's your challenge now, huh?
Yeah. What now? After 100 days.
Yeah. So
it's so amazing.
It was basically about waking up at 6, working out at 7, every day by day, every 24 hours.
3 months. My God.
Yeah, like 3 months. 50 days in, I thought I was tired. 51, 52 days. I'm like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I should stop. There's no point of doing this.
You got 50 days.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I got 50 days.
You got 50 days.
But I'm so tired, man. Maybe my body is telling me stuff that I should listen to. And my dad comes in and says, hey, how long are you going to keep this? I'm like, why do you care? I don't care, but I don't know. It's 50 days. What are you going to do with that? And I'm like, nothing. I just want to test myself. So 50 days later, 100 days.
Yeah, you're like fresh.
Oh, fuck, I'm 100 days onto this. How long am I gonna keep this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I stopped at 103 days just because it was Tuesday, so I didn't want to end on Tuesday. I ended on Friday. And that was the biggest challenge I've ever done, I think. And I'm really proud of it, and I should do it again. But, that was kind of being in the dark side.
You should do a group.
Oh, wait, I'm wrong. There's another ghost challenge I'm doing that doesn't feel like a challenge anymore.
Challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a challenge anymore.
Yeah.
It did feel like a challenge at the beginning, but it doesn't now because it became a habit. It has become a habit.
Challenge becomes habit if you continue them.
And that's cold showers.
Shower. Oh my God. I remember that you started, man.
Yeah. It's not like really hard, especially here in Spain because of the weather and so forth. But I started in summer, and then when winter kicked in, I was like, now it's starting.
Summer 2018? No.
17.
17.
Yeah.
So you're like
so I'm like 1 year and almost 1 year and a half. Because I started in May, June, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm one winter in.
Wow.
Of
have you got cold again?
No.
That's amazing.
Actually, yeah, right.
Right.
I was starting to get cold, like sore throat and stuff like that. And
what happened?
I went into the shower. Cold shower, cold water.
That was a cure.
Next day, I was okay again.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't want to make any statements about this because I'm not sure what happened there, but it only happened once. Seriously, it was one evening. I was starting to feel like, oh man, I don't feel good. I feel like I even have a little bit of fever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, I'm getting sick. They're gonna laugh at me for this. I told you cold showers are not good for you. So I went into the shower and I said, fuck it. I haven't come this far to stop now.
Right.
And that's what kept me going.
So you didn't have a minor temptation of maybe I should switch the water to hot?
No. I don't have that temptation.
Right.
Because it's like a habit. It's like, I don't know how the things are in other countries, but here's like only one stick. And it's only always on the cold side. And I'm really used to see it, to always find it there.
Right.
So I never have that kind of temptation to switch it on the other side, on the red side. It's always on the blue one.
On the blue one,
yeah. So that's another kind of experience I had. Yeah, where a challenge becomes a habit.
Right. So going back to Barcelona, really nice that you have talked about this challenge.
Yeah, Barcelona.
So you were like 7 months in the cave, so to say.
Yeah.
Going out.
It felt that way.
And that experience actually made you better because you invested a lot of hours in improving your skills, but you also have like a mind cloudness.
Yeah.
Because perhaps of not getting so much exposure, not getting out, whatever. And
maybe I'm specializing on something I'm not really sure about, stuff like that.
Correct. And then kind of this event appeared, the challenge of April of the Wild West appeared, the event appeared, and your mom appeared as well.
Yeah.
So she was a kind of a central character in your in this going from the light, like the platonic, getting out of the cave, and getting enlightened again.
Exactly.
And I really find it that way because when he came back from Barcelona, he was like a totally different person. He was like super enthusiastic, and super motivated with what the
more focused.
Really more focused. Yeah, and that's why. What did it change it? Like what in short? What do you think in short did what Barcelona did to you in terms of personal and professional?
I've been on the other side and I've seen what's out there. That's basically it.
My God.
So when I'm back, I'm like, trust me, guys, I know what's out there. It's not that I haven't seen it before because I've been to Croatia 1 year before this event.
Right.
And I was to Holland as well, as I said before.
Yeah.
So I saw what's out there. I saw what these kind of gatherings of artists means to me. And but this time I was like, I don't know, it came in the right moment. Or at least that's how it felt at that time. Moment, yes. Like I'm not sure. I don't know. This is an opportunity and it's kind of uncomfortable. I don't want to get out of here now. Man. And my mom comes in and says, of course you're going to get out.
Come on.
And I went there. Best thing I've ever done. Oh, so, yeah, that's about the comfortable thing.
Right.
So when you do it, you feel good about it after.
Right. That's so good, man. It's doing it, like getting that mental cloudness outside, like, it's like cleaning the house, like you open the windows, you mop the floor.
But it was the same when I was there. First day at the event, Barcelona, first day. I was so shy and so, I don't know, I was not really speaking to anybody.
Right.
And then I realized, I'm like, the fuck am I doing here? I paid for this?
Yeah,
I came this far? For what? To not talk to these art heroes I have right in front of me?
So cool.
So by the end of day one, before it finished, I was already speaking to as much people as I could. And next day, second day, that was blowing up for me because I went there like, hey, you want to look at my portfolio? What advice can you give me? And just talk.
That's amazing.
And I saw many people more like students,
Right.
And
you were like,
but I'm glad I'm looking at this from like at this age because I'm pretty sure if I went there way younger, I would have done the same.
Yeah.
Because you see students are really really shy, really like with their sketchbook or with their whatever, their portfolio. If you don't ask them,
you're totally stepping out of that mindset.
Exactly.
And you're realizing how important it is.
That's it.
So again, comfort zone and discomfort zone. We have to seek the discomfort because from discomfort, it's where adventure and progress in life growth begins.
Yeah.
It's putting yourself at the limit and pushing the limit forward and forward and forward and progressing. I mean, what's life about? That's what it's all about. It's an adventure. It's a game. We have to play every single day with our time. And I really find from our connection that we are really in a really similar mindset from this. And now that getting a bit of insight from your story and having our listeners and viewers, yours, I think that the next 5 years of your life, and it's gonna be for recording and it's gonna be documented, as we say.
Yeah,
it's gonna be exponential, man. It's gonna be amazing.
It's really been that way since it started, actually.
Yeah,
think about it. 5 years before,
you're like in the curve. It goes like this, right?
Yeah.
You may have already done this. You say, "Oh my God, I've been growing a lot." But if you zoom out,
maybe it doesn't go like this, but like this. So once you're up there, it grows really slowly.
Really slow. And that's where I have to step it up, man. I have to go to give it a notch.
But don't you think that's an illusion you have?
Which one?
You think it's going slow. But it's not.
I think that
it's like a perception you have of your own progress.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
But you really are. That's what I felt about myself.
That's so true.
That's when you need somebody else to tell you.
You know why? Because maybe if you see the graph like of progress and you feel like you're here, like at the plateau, you actually have to zoom out. You have to zoom out and realize that what is expected next is like, okay, you're on the plateau, but you have to do this.
Yeah.
And then you reach another plateau.
And then if you zoom out even more, you realize that this plateau is way higher than the previous one.
Correct.
Yeah. That's something you have to always be aware of the big picture.
Okay.
And it's funny because I'm telling you about how disciplined I am, how I managed to get here and all that. But nonetheless, these last days or weeks, I'm not feeling really proud of myself.
Oh my God.
I'm getting lost in the world of the internet, especially YouTube.
Tell me.
With, not stupid videos, because I always tend to look at, I don't know, Joe Rogan podcast about, I don't know, science.
Yeah.
And
but you're like
psychology,
passively or actively listening or watching?
Some of them passively, because the good thing about what I do is that I can set up any audio file on background and listen while I'm drawing or painting. And sometimes I just actively look at the phone. Especially if I'm on the phone, I will stare at the screen.
The screen, okay.
Yeah, and I would do that at very recommended hours.
Wow, I understand.
Like
before, so you don't use
before going to sleep.
You don't use both screens, like a screen where you have the podcast and a screen where you actually on the Wacom.
I do.
Oh, you do.
But I don't need to pay attention there.
Oh, okay.
Well, most of the time I use it for references and pictures that I have to draw from, stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's what I mean. I lose my time. I'm wasting it.
Yeah, man.
On these things. I'm not really proud of it. You know why? Because the only reason I watch these things is because I think that I can actually learn something from those videos or those articles or those whatever they are.
Yeah. It's an information junkie.
Yes.
Oh my
because
God,
it gets so much. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much information. I'm not really processing anything. It's like it makes a lot of sense when you're listening to it. Once it's over here as well. I forgot about it already.
It is on the subconscious mind.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that I really find a thing I have been dealing these days is on this mental saving of every information we have. That's a subconscious mind. It saves everything. Mm-hmm. It saves everything, like every image, every sound, every experience, everything. So I think like successful people deal with this on the fact that they read a lot of books, they have a lot of experiences, but they also do. They do they debug their subconscious. It's like when you defragment the Windows disk. If you keep getting too much information, it's gonna get overloaded. Mm-hmm. You have somehow to do something with that knowledge, apply it. Yeah. Because as we speak, it's the subconscious mind that also speaks and comes consciously.
I get that feeling all the time when we speak about things we've seen, things we've listened to. We put our experiences together and see what we can make with them, like on a conversation like this one, for instance. Mm-hmm. And that's when those things stay on the background of your mind. And if you don't do this, maybe that kind of information is going to vanish. Yeah, and you're going to feel like you wasted your time by looking at those videos.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like having is listening, getting the knowledge, having the conversation with your power team, as Napoleon Hill would say, and doing
power team. I like that term.
I like that too, man. And also doing both first individually, because that's the most important part. You have to do it individually, not expecting from the team something, and then you experience with the team and share the knowledge of the experience, of the practice, because it's facts and example that show more of you than what you preach. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things I'm actually struggling with a lot. I cannot compare it, but for the comparison situation we have, I kind of feel like in the same months you have been, like in the cave, I feel like that right now. Like after coming home in May, June from Barcelona.
So you feel like you're evolving somehow.
Perhaps not actually like you did. Like, no, it's more on the chaos side.
All right.
Not that much on the order side.
Yeah.
I don't have that much order in my life.
Well, I was actually
right
on that chaos side as well because let me put this in perspective. So the reason why I learned so much is because I had some order. Like every day by this time, you have a hangout session with this guy.
Oh, that's so true.
And
schedule.
It's because of him probably why I got that kind of discipline, because by knowing that there's someone else waiting for you to show up,
so true, man.
You don't want to fail them. You don't want to let them hanging out because I don't feel good by making people wait for me.
That's
so
true.
I gotta be there, and therefore I show up and we both work.
And you develop the routine.
Yeah, and I develop a routine, and I do stuff. I show him. He does stuff. He shows me. We both agree or disagree.
It's kind of a work. It was like your first experience as not your first, but a taste of freelance experience.
Mm-hmm.
Of staying home and having your routine, and then focusing on yourself and whatever. On my case, I try and building some programs and schedules, but the things I've realized in these months is that I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper on the chaos side and not having order. I'm experiencing it. It's like I like to say that it's like an experiment, but it's a bit of a dangerous experiment. Like not being productive, not doing anything almost.
Oh, well, that's the feeling you get.
That's the feeling I get, yeah.
But it's not the reality.
It may not. I mean, I don't know, man. It's about videos and it's about everything. The thing is, I don't want to like extend too much on it right now. I want to on the details. I want to like put on the table the subject of discipline, and as knowing yourself, knowing you as a really disciplined guy, I'd like to know how have you struggled with discipline, and what has discipline taught you in the last years?
I like that question.
Yes.
It's definitely something that excites me to talk about. So, what discipline has taught me in the last years is that is the thing that I said at the beginning, I think, about being a professional when you don't like something, but being able to do it anyway. Right. That's the thing. That's discipline. And by discipline, I believe that you become free. Free of what? Free of yourself. Free of ego, perhaps? Because, ego is like pleasing yourself. And if you always please yourself,
that's so true.
You get that defeat kind of feeling in your mind. Like, I would like to do that thing, but I'd rather stay here because it's more comfortable. But but that thing, but it's so far away, and it may be next to you, but because you don't want to get up and go there and get it. It's as easy as that. Get up, go there, get it, and be happy with it. I don't want to get up, dude. I'm sitting here. I'm so comfortable. Yeah.
Man.
So that's what discipline does. When you manage to get up, go out there, get it. It's nice, right?
Right.
Next day, you will have to repeat it. You will say, all right, day 2. That's the thing I applied to myself when I was running. I hate running.
Right.
I managed to run for almost a month. Right. So I don't know. I of course I realized that there was some progress, immediate progress, and then it slows down. But by the time it slowed down, I didn't even get bothered by it because I was even enjoying it.
Right.
Enjoying something I hated at the beginning. I still hate it a little bit by that moment, but because of how used I was to it, it didn't feel painful anymore.
Will Smith has a really good definition of self-discipline, and his self-discipline is the ultimate example of self-love.
Yes.
And that's so true, man, because
that's when you're free and happy.
And happy.
Because you do stuff. you don't want to be sitting there without doing anything.
What I find from the last months of not being so disciplined is the fact that you cannot postpone consciousness. You cannot postpone your conscious telling you shouldn't be doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be watching this video right now. You should be doing this and this and this because you know what is good for you.
Yeah.
And it's like a pressure building up. If you're not disciplined for a long time.
Oh, I'm really glad you mentioned this last part, because when that thing comes really close to the end, that pressure thing, and it builds up a lot of pressure, and that thing explodes, that's when I react most of the time. When it gets extreme, I can't take this longer.
Yeah.
No, I won't allow it. Next day no, you know what? Not even next day, right now. And that's how I did most of the things I'm kind of proud about. I'd like to read more. I'm not reading more. What I do instead, I watch videos on YouTube.
Right.
And that thing is coming to an end as well. I'm so sick of it. In fact, I've even started already. Like when I wake up in the morning, I try to stay away from my phone. I try to stay away from screens.
From screens, that's so true.
Yeah, because I've been listening that light is not really blue light from the screens. It's not really, I don't know.
On the night and on the morning, first.
Yeah. So I try to stay away from that, and then maybe, I don't know, I want to do more sketches on paper, because I'm like only on digital now, and I'm like missing the old ways. So that's a thing to substitute. Is that to substitute for non-healthy activities, like looking at the phone or checking my Instagram or stuff like that.
It's coaching yourself. I mean,
so it's replacing those activities by something you think is more healthy. It's not that drawing on paper is healthy for your body or whatever. But for me as an artist, since I want to be better at something, and in this case it's drawing, and if we want to be more specific, it's like drawing human figures.
Yeah.
I can practice that instead of wasting my time on something that I don't feel proud of.
Correct. You already have that super really good vibe that proud gives you. You're aware of it, and you want to maximize it. You want to get more of it, and because you have been building a muscle, which is willpower.
Yeah, and I like it when, because this is kind of contagious to other people.
It is.
And I like it when it resonates in other people around me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm sharing my stuff, let's say my victories, my recent victories with the people around me. Some of them are not really taking it in a good way, because they tend to look at it like it's something that you claim to be good at, but you're not, or something like that. Right. But most of them are like really welcoming it. Like, oh man, you really inspired me, dude. Thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for sharing it. Because I tend to do the same with other people. I'm always getting inspired by other people. Oh, sorry. And I'm always trying to, pay attention to what other people is doing. At the same time, not really comparing myself with them, because it's not what I do. It's not what I am. I'm trying to be myself, trying to find my own identity, my own way of looking at things, doing things.
That's so true, man.
And that can apply to, say, YouTubers.
My God,
why would you look this guy and not this other one?
Yeah.
Well, because he does it this way.
That's his way.
But they talk about pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy is this way. He talks this way.
Right.
And it's another kind of vibe you get from them. That connection is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Really, really good, man. Really good on discipline. It's amazing on how you project that. I really feel it because you speak of it with not preaching it, but out of experience. And that's amazing.
That's now I feel like not like entitled to talk about it, but I feel more sure about it because I've lived it.
You have a backpack of experience about
Yes,
it.
yes.
The,
It's like, listen, I'm only going to talk about it because I've been there,
yeah.
and this is my experience, and that's it. Maybe you're going to experience this in a different way,
Right.
which would be really cool to hear from.
Yeah.
But so far, this is what I got, and here's for you, and take what you want. And I don't know. It's like that's why I'm always trying to hear from other people.
Right.
Because it's always different. It's always a different point of view. Yet most of the time they always have common points.
Right.
That's when I tend to think that then it must be true.
It must be true. Yeah.
You know?
That's so amazing, man. On the fact that we're getting this podcast done and talking about these topics. I think we definitely need a second part for this podcast with you. And right now it's getting a bit nighttime.
Count on me.
Man, that would be so amazing if you could come. It's getting nighttime. We're gonna have to get our stuff done before getting to sleep and everything.
Sure.
And we're gonna leave the podcast here for a second part with my best friend and buddy.
It's been like 2 hours, right?
It's been like 2 hours, dude. Like that's so it's
that was
it's
so
nuts.
fast.
It was incredibly
Time
fast.
flies.
You came at 6 here. And it's almost 9.
Yeah.
3 hours. It's been 3 hours.
It's been really cool. It's been really awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know why talking about whatever is so pleasant. It's so, I don't know.
Because words have power, and have power for the person listening and also for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way of, again, debugging that subconscious mind that is, again, with his self or herself.
Sure.
Again. And yeah, so we're going to leave this podcast for a second part. Super happy that and glad that you have listened to us until now. Thank you for both the views and both the listens and plays. And see you guys next time on the Life Coach Podcast.
Thanks for having me, man.